Radio Networks presents North America's #1 rock radio program, Rockline. Tonight, live from our Los Angeles studios, we welcome Kiss. To speak with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, call the toll-free Rockline at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. And now, let's lick it up on this pre-Turkey Day show. Here's our head of the Thanksgiving table, Mr. Bob Coburn.
Gobble it up tonight. Glad to have you aboard. Kiss, the box set was released yesterday, and talk about comprehensive. 5 CDs, 94 songs, 6 hours of digitally remastered lick it up rock and roll all night Kiss music. And tonight it's Rockline's treat to welcome from Kiss, Gene Simmons. Gene, how are you tonight?
Oh, if I was any happier, I'd have to throw up.
We don't
yourself?
want that. Don't get any happier. I'm doing fine. I'm ready for Thanksgiving, too. Paul Stanley, welcome to Rockline.
It's a pleasure to be here. If I were any happier, I'd be twins.
Nice to have you guys back, and happy Thanksgiving to you guys. We'll have a nice pre-Thanksgiving special.
I love the tutu. It's very attractive.
It looks good on me, doesn't
You're
it?
a powerful and attractive man.
You know, the difference between us and other rock bands is so borne out in this studio. If you were here, you know, other rock bands, you go into the studio and they have booze, you know, and all kinds of other illicit things. You come into the studio and we're here. There's more food than... There's a room
we should see our dressing room.
Well, what we do when you guys come is we order all the booze and then we put it away and we keep it for later, for after the show.
Yeah, there's a huge bowl of cookies and enough sandwiches to feed
me.
Yeah.
Well, we like to keep you guys happy, you know.
Let me tell you, it ain't food, pal. See, it's kind of like Jell-O. If it wiggles, you know the joke.
Oh yeah.
What's the difference between your girlfriend and Jell-O pudding? Jell-O moves when you eat it.
That's right. There we go.
Ooh.
Let's talk about the box set, the project here. A mammoth project to assemble. How long has it been in the works, and how did you choose what to put in and what to leave out?
Well, this box set has actually been in the works since the band got together, because the material on it dates back that far. You know, when we were going through the archives and going through tapes that literally looked like they wouldn't play. Some of them actually had to be baked because over years the compound, the magnetic compound on it starts to come off. We found songs that we didn't even know existed. There's a song on the box set called "Don't You Hesitate," which is the only unreleased song, demo, matter of fact, that features the original lineup in the studio. And you know, there's all kinds of rarities. There's a song that I did when I was, I think, 14 years old.
Gee.
And there's all kinds of interesting Gene stuff.
So, before we get any further...
So, ignore everything that Paul just... So, that was really interesting.
So, please pick up the phone and dial 866-KISS-BOX. The big one is what we're talking about. See, the ones that you're talking about, you can get them at the record stores. The mid-price ones and the smaller ones. Mid-price one looks like a small guitar case. The big one, and your girlfriend will tell you size does count, the big one's got a big gold RIAA certified gold Kiss record, as well as a hardcover Kiss book, which is us basically ranting and raving about how we wrote these gems, and 5 CDs, 6 hours of music, and a partridge in a pear tree, and a gold-trimmed guitar case. Literally, it looks like a guitar case. It's two things in one. It's Kiss's box set, 866-KISS-BOX.
That's 547-7269 for the alphabetically impaired there. Kiss Box, 1-866-KISS Box. So you got 3 choices there. The giant guitar case, which we have in the studio at Rockline tonight, which is beautiful. The mini guitar case, the cigar box style. And just in time for Christmas, you think you guys would have planned
what a coincidence. You know,
That's
Christmas
amazing.
is right around the corner, and Kiss comes out with things, you know, that you must have in your stocking other than us.
You got to do it, you know?
No, it's great. You know, there's one for everybody. The plain does it an injustice to call it a plain box set, because it still has all the great material and the same book. However, the most expensive one will set you back a little, but you get the gold album and everything else. And we do accept time payments on it, and we'll repossess your house if you don't make the last payment.
Incidentally, if we're not shy about talking about all the cool stuff that we think is for sale,
because we have no shame.
Let me just be clear. We're not shy about talking about it. I think other bands pretend, when I got up today with my torn jeans, it's like, please give me a break. We're happy that stuff is on sale, and we love it even more if you want to go out and buy it.
Well, one thing about Kiss is no band has ever been marketed as well as Kiss, and nobody rocks as well as Kiss either. We'll start with one of the greatest hits right now. This is Rock and Roll All Night. It's Kiss on Rockline. Our first call is from San Francisco, guys. It's Kenny. Welcome to Rockline, Kenny. You're on with Kiss.
Hello.
Hey, Kenny.
My question is the demo for Christine 16. It was supposed to be in the box set, and you wrote in the liner notes that it can't be because of legal reasons. Is that going to see the light of day with the Van Halen brothers on it?
That's a good question. We had just come back from Japan, 1977, and we're just riding so high. Everybody was really excited about the whole thing. It was difficult to get sleep, in fact. So one day I went into the studio, and this is after I had anyway, Van Halen was around. I called him, and the whole band came down. Although it was only Alex and Edward who played on the record. I played Alex. That's right, Alex and Edward. So we cut 3 songs: "Tunnel of Love," "Christine 16," and "Got Love for Sale." All of them eventually saw the light of day. And even though those 24-track masters exist, politics sometimes get in the way of the stuff coming out. So, to make it short-winded, someday, soon. Someday my prince will come. Maybe someday soon.
At least on Christine 16, they had a singer, which they don't now. So we'll talk to. Couldn't resist, I mean, sometimes it's like a plan.
Someday,
there we go. Dino, Macon, Georgia. It's your turn to be on Rockline with Paul and Gene from Kiss.
Hey, Gene, how are you?
That's great.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm fine.
Glad to give you thanks for a offering. I'll have you on the second part. On the first question, I'd like to ask Gene if he remembered if you guys had retrieved the 2 cats that had disappeared after the there was an outdoor festival in the Atlanta Stadium. Started out with 38 Special, Bob Seger Silver Bullet Band, John Edgar Winter, Blue Oyster Cult before you guys.
Right.
Hell of a thunderstorm came in.
That's right.
And then you guys opened up.
Brave Stadium.
It was a hell of a show.
Oh, thanks. Those 2 big cats were stolen, and we hear they are now sitting, no kidding, at the foot of Sebastian Bach's bed.
And how did that happen?
I'm not making this up. That's where they are.
2 giant cats sitting at the foot of Sebastian Bach's bed. There's a joke in there, and I can think of several.
He means Johann Sebastian Bach.
Johann Sebastian Bach. There we go.
How big are those cats? Weren't they 4 or 5 feet tall?
Those cats?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
What's your name?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Now, last night you had
2
album preview and signing at Tower Records on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. 40-foot blow-ups of you guys. That's large, guys.
That proves positive. We're full of it, boy.
Yeah. Lots of hot air.
Much hot air.
So much hot air. We
40 feet of it.
Yeah, we filled those things up. We had it was great. We did an in-store at Tower on Sunset, and there was well over 1,000 people, and we made sure that we got to meet each one and sign something for them, and everybody seems to really love the box set, which means a lot to us because we put a lot of time and care into it. For years people have been asking us when the box set would come out, and when everybody's anticipating something that much, you want to make sure that it's not a disappointment. So far, so good.
Dino, did you have another question?
Yes, I have one for Paul. Okay, Paul, after this show y'all did with the Kiss Alive, you had come through Atlanta and you had played a Kissmas show in the Omni. And you had a black guitar which you had broken on stage. You had offered it to me, and the crowd jumped all over me, so you took it back. And when the crowd backed off, you motioned for them to back off. You handed me the guitar. And I was levitated over the crowd, and moved all over the place. I got in all kinds of fights over this guitar, and I'd held on to it for a good 15, 20 minutes, and some dude pulled a stiletto up to my chin, and that's when I had to let go of the guitar. But
that's a good move, Dino.
It was a beautiful black guitar, and about 4 frets up from the body, you had Mother of Pearl, and it said Paul Stanley in black letters on it.
You are so right.
And don't ever do that again.
It's a great story, and when was the last time you got felt up by like 10,000 people? I mean, it's just what a night, and you levitated on top of it.
He also lost Barry Bonds' 73rd home run, but that's another story, and somebody wrestled that away from him as well. Hey,
thanks for sharing that story. You're obviously a very devoted fan, and those stories really bring back memories for us.
That's a vivid recollection there, Dino. Thanks for being on the show tonight. A call from San Jose, California. It's Victor. Welcome to Rockline. Victor, you're in with Kiss.
Yes, hi. Hi, Gene and Paul.
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
If we were any luckier, I think we'd...
It's a privilege talking to you guys. And my question is, what is the deal with the upcoming Kiss comic book with DC Comics and the Kiss cartoon TV show?
I'll try to be brief. In fact, today I spoke with Mike Richardson, the president of Dark Horse. There's going to be a Dark Horse DC team-up. It's going to be Superman meets Kiss as the debut issue of the Kiss comic books, which should start, by the new year sometime. It takes about 3 months to plan these things. So there's going to be a brand new series of Kiss comic books. Mainframe is a Canadian company that does Reboot, Transformers, Beast Wars, lots of very cool stuff, superhero stuff. And there's going to be a Kiss all CGI, all computerized superhero show that is already starting, and that'll take, they take an awfully long time to make, but both are on their way, and thanks for asking.
I'll be brief, too. I spoke to Superman today, and he's very excited.
Yeah. we know him all.
How's old Soup doing these days, He hanging in there, too? Yeah, he's doing all right, huh?
Yeah.
Victor, thanks for being on the show. We're going to play a song right now by Wicked Lester, the pre-Kiss band.
We're sorry, people. Love us anyway.
We're so sorry.
The great thing about the box set is it's kind of like looking at some of your baby pictures that kind of make you squirm a little, but they are, it's part of our past.
Going back to 1972, She by Wicked Lester, which morphed into Kiss in a certain form. Back to the phones we go. Your number is toll-free as always, 1-800-344-ROCK. We'll pick up the tab for that. And you can order the really cool giant guitar at 1-800-KISS-BOX and get everything, all the 5 CDs and the giant book and everything else in there. Will in Charleston, West Virginia, it's your turn to be on Rockline with Kiss.
Hey, Gene, Paul, let me just say it's one of the greatest moments of my life speaking to you guys. I mean, you're my favorite band. I saw you guys 6 times on the farewell tour.
Thank you.
And my only question is, I actually have 2. Did you think about bringing Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer up on stage for your American shows for the 80 songs on the very last dates? And is there any chance Peter Criss will be back?
Those are 2 interesting questions. With the band in makeup, it would be very unfair to Bruce and Eric, although they had so much to do with the band continuing and getting us to the point of the reunion. But for them to come on stage would have been very difficult for them because what we're doing at this point so much, overshadows, in a sense, the visual of what we did when we weren't in makeup. So we always include them, and we've been so lucky that in Australia and Japan on the farewell tour, we brought Eric Singer back and arguably did some of the best shows of the tour so far. And as far as Peter coming back, that's a question where we try to be as tactful as possible because Peter obviously is a member of the family who's been with us since the beginning. But like any other family, there are squabbles and there are times where people have disagreements, and the important thing is that the family stays together in one form or another, and like a team where maybe a player falls by the wayside or quits, the team must go on. And we believe 100% in Kiss, and we make sure that when we go out, we don't let our fans down. So long answer to a short question, when we went to Australia and Japan, it was the alternative was not to go. and nobody has the right to stop the band. So we continued without Peter, and we wish Peter the best at the moment, but we intend to continue with this farewell tour for as long as people want us to keep saying farewell, and then we'll take it from there. We're in a very enviable position that on a farewell tour, everybody is basically saying, don't leave, and that's giving us, a whole different perspective on things. But, we're glad to be out there, and we're glad to have a family that has lasted this long.
Incidentally, we are going to see Peter, hopefully Ace too, but certainly Peter's going to be with us at the NARAS Awards. We're going to be in New York City early December to receive an award. I don't know what we're supposed to be, best rock band in space or something.
Heroes of New York. Yeah.
Heroes of New York.
And NARAS stands for National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences.
And Peter will be there with us. So,
yes.
We certainly see each other.
So I would assume at this point there really is no final show scheduled. It's just indefinite as long as they keep wanting you to be there, huh?
We just work here.
You just work here.
Well, yeah, we went out, and when we thought that the farewell tour was over, we got, calls or demands from Australia and from Japan saying, what about us? And much the same is happening with other countries around the world. And lo and behold, you've still got people in the States who are saying, we want you to come back one more time. So, we don't take this lightly. We've never said before that we were going to have a farewell tour, but we certainly are scratching our heads at the response that people are having to the thought of us leaving. So,
to give you an inkling of what happens to Paul and I when the band goes on hiatus, we had a band called Wicked Lester, and the band broke up. So what did Paul and I do? We grabbed some acoustic guitars and went downstairs in Chinatown and strummed on the street. I think we made $7.
And ate dinner.
And
had a great dinner.
And got a good dinner as well. There you go.
And you want to know something?
What's that?
You appreciate right there on the street level, you get that $7, you actually see it, and you really appreciate it. You go in there. Here's the best part. We're both playing cool stuff, and all of a sudden, family members of Paul, like friends of the family, walk by. Paul, what are you doing here? You remember?
Yeah.
Who were they?
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Just don't go to any country that ends with Stan right now. You just don't want to go any place that ends with Stan. That's a country right now.
But
so
you can always visit someone who ends with Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. That's no
right.
problem at all. Thank you, Paul. Let's take a call from the Boston area. Matthew, you're on Rockline with Kiss.
Hi, guys. It's a privilege to talk to you. You're my favorite band. I've been a fan for years. I just want to let you guys know that Happy Hanukkah and Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Gene, you're my hero, but at the same time, I've loved you guys since I was 5. Anyway, my question is, does Alive 4 have a release date?
So far, not. We actually held off on releasing the live record because, how shall we put this, the record company was in a state of flux. We signed to Casablanca.
They were flucked up, right?
we signed with a record company called Casablanca that was bought by Polygram, that was bought by, Universal, that was bought by Vivendi. Somewhere along the way, we went from Casablanca to Mercury to Def Jam. Yo, what's up? And so now we had to make sure that the record company knew that we were on Mercury, and that no matter how much we try, we can't pronounce what's up properly.
And we looked ridiculous in those baggy pants that are held on by the belt right at your butt line.
Absolutely no criminal record so far. So we have no credibility whatsoever, and we can't. Gene, what are you inferring? Are you saying that a criminal past actually makes you cool to a certain genre of music? Yeah. I think I'm saying that.
Yeah.
And so we're not convincing at doing that. The only thing we're really good at is dressing up
in our mother's clothes,
in higher heels and more makeup than your mom. So the live record, to answer your question, will come out now that the record company's been okay to let us use Mercury as the label, and it'll come out shortly.
It's being... The Mighty Jungle. Hey, we're with Kiss tonight. Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley talking about Kiss, the box set, and you can order the Super Deluxe model at 1-866-KISS-BOX. That's 547-7269. Next week, we're pleased to welcome 38 Special to Rockline. I'm pretty sure they're going to play live for us. Tonight, however, it's Gene and Paul of Kiss, and if you'd like to talk with the men in makeup, you just call us toll-free at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 344-7625. Sure, Gene.
Let me interject. No, this is Paul. We sound the same.
Paul, I'm sorry.
We're just Jewish guys who wear makeup.
Jewish guys who wear makeup.
That's right. But I was going to say that if you don't want the big jumbo deluxe box set that that we're hawking here, you can certainly go down to your local record store and find a box set that may be more to your economic liking. And in any case, you'll get the great music, and then from there, it's just a matter of, how big an engine you want and how much chrome you want.
Lick It Up by Kiss for you on Rockline. And Bob Coburn with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. Our number toll-free, as always. Always pick up the tab on the phone for you here. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. That's the number that Allison called from Greenville, South Carolina. Welcome to Rockline, Allison.
Hi.
We can't hear Allison.
Yeah, hi. My question is for Paul.
Yes.
Paul, hi.
Hi there.
First off, I love you both dearly. I've been a fan for since I was 10 years old. My question is for you, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Will you do Broadway again? Will you come to the East Coast?
Actually, I'm going to New York next week to discuss taking over the lead in one of the Broadway shows that's running right now. So I'd love to, in my free time away from doing rock and roll, spend more time doing Broadway, and perhaps in March go in and do Phantom of the Opera.
Now, that's really a rigorous schedule. I remember when you were on your own one time, Paul, you were telling me you have to watch the time you go to bed, you have to watch when you eat, and it's very regimented.
People in rock bands are the biggest bunch of babies in the world. They complain about everything. I remember coming back and saying to the band, you don't know what work is. We have it so easy, and the discipline factor is so low. And when you see people who really have to hit their mark 8 times a week and can't use, my dog ate my homework kind of excuses for why they blow on stage, it's a humbling experience, and it really teaches you, to up the ante a bit. So doing musical theater for me was really an awakening, to what's possible and the kind of discipline schedule that other performers keep to. And I came back and said to the guys, we need to kick it up a notch.
It's nice to see Broadway back up and running again, too, in New York City. That's a wonderful thing to see. Gene, do you have any aspirations for that kind of regimen? Are you ready for that?
Everybody knows I can't sing. Get out of here. In all seriousness, I flew up and saw Paul. And, the true sign of what he did is I sat there and I didn't think of Paul. I didn't see Paul. I didn't hear Paul. It was the Phantom. I mean, I told him so. Afterwards, I went backstage and I became his groupie.
And I have to tell you, Gene has a great book out that everybody should buy.
Mutual Admiration Society. I think I'm going to throw up again.
Yeah, we're getting a little smarmy here. Is this the Kiss and Makeup book that comes out on December 11th?
Kiss and Makeup coming out December the 11th from Crown Books. Go to your local bookstore. I'm very sincere.
No, it's a very good book, and I read it, and it's not true, but no. I have to say it's really good, and it's well written, and it's an interesting book for someone to read, whether you're into the band or not. Now, give me my money, Gene.
It's not true, but it's a rip-roaring read, so you might want to pick up a copy.
No, seriously speaking, it's a real achievement. And
incidentally, it's not the book some people have asked me about. So how many pictures? No, it's not that one.
No, not that book.
This one's got words.
Thanks to Allison for joining us.
Thank you, Allison.
To Don, who is in the Joplin, Missouri area. John, welcome to Rockline. You're on with Kiss.
Yeah. Hi, guys. The only thing I've got to say is I'm going to miss you guys in concert.
Well, thank you.
You guys really put on a good show, and when you go see Kiss, you're going to get your money's worth.
That's what it's all about.
And my question is for Gene.
Yes, sir.
Why did you come out with a Kiss casket, and are you going to be buried in one?
Oh, sure. Why not? People often think about the glass being half empty. We like to think of it as half full. The casket, sure, is a real casket. You can go underground for that one last time, but we prefer to think of what you can do with it while you're alive. And in all seriousness, it's actually cooler. Watch the ball game on Sunday, open up the casket, grab a cool one. Incidentally, you can get yours by getting on to kissonline.com or at your local funeral parlor.
And if you call now, we'll throw in a dead body.
Hey, you know what? If your sister's cute, I'll crawl in there once for you.
I'd like the cadaver model, please. Yeah, if you can deliver that to the house, that would be cool.
Some people listening to this who may not know about it, we're deadly serious. There is a Kiss casket. It does exist. Get yours soon.
Well, there's just so many things that have been marketed with Kiss.